confused, everyone.
Let's get dangerous.
This is so cool.
I know.
It feels so right.
Jake Silly.
I'm sorry, who is this?
Nice try, Moonman, pretending not to know. Earth's greatest mastermind.
You just made the list.
I thought you said that was a myth.
Just because it's a myth doesn't mean it's not true.
If you all blindly follow my plan, we may have a chance.
Sure, we talk about it all the time.
Really?
No. Burn.
Game on, you ducks. It's the final-ish Week 3 notes Week 3 is here. Recap real quick, Thursday Night Football. Tua continues to be Tua disappointing. Yeah, I said it. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle got some questions about whether Tyreek Hill could get traded to a new team, and of course, it's always possible. And I don't know that the situation would be much better, especially given the teams that are speculated, but I don't know if it's necessarily a buy low coming off a touchdown game. I still think Tyreek Hill is a wide receiver 2 for the entire season, whether he's with the Dolphins, whether he's somewhere else. But the more interesting part here is for everybody that held on as recommended to Ollie Gordon. Got more run, got the touchdown. Looks like to be the solid RB2 going forward. Might not get to startability every single week, but this is at least a positive sign. So if you held on, make sure you did. If he's out there and available, going to be a name atop of the waivers again this week. All right, let's talk Week 3 and talk about the fact that the Packers have a mess of a situation right now. No Jaden Reed. Tucker Kraft didn't practice, but is questionable, which is weird. Musgrave would be a fringe tight end 1 if there is no Tucker Kraft. That's a good usage in that offense. On top of the fact that the Dobbs-Golden-Wicks trio is up for debate. Clearly, the Dobbs is the number 1. We want and hope for Matthew Golden to break out this week, but here's how you have to look at it. If he is an even split rotating with Dontavian Wicks, you can just move on. Deeper leagues, do stash Wicks in case it would. Worst case scenario for Golden is Wicks is clearly the 2 in front of Golden. In the Colts game, another tight end situation. Warren is questionable. If Warren is out, I'm not chasing any of those tight ends. If he is out, also boost to Josh Downs, Michael Pittman, as these wide receivers continue to rotate, trying to avoid the Colts as much as possible. Wide receiver situation, anything more than a wide receiver 4, but this will help Downs and Pittman both be startable in this matchup. You know my upside love for Jake Browning with no Joe Burrow. Not the best matchup for him this week. On the other side of the ball, if you haven't seen, Jordan Mason is a fringe running back 1. Yes, he is going to be getting bell cow work, and this is worrisome for when Aaron Jones comes back, as Aaron Jones just might be a timeshare piece. RB3 value, he'll have pass catching value, but something to monitor. I got a lot of questions about Kayshon Boutte, like, why are you calling him the number 1? He ran the most routes for the Patriots. I know it was only 1 target, but that's why Kayshon Boutte is only a wide receiver 3. He'll have that up and down. Heck, let's talk the Eagles here in a second. Actually, let's just get right to the Eagles. A.J. Brown, I'm not calling Kayshon Boutte by any stretch of the imagination, A.J. Brown, but these kind of things happen. A.J. Brown, buy low. Devonta Smith, buy low. If they both or either one have a good game, this is going to be it's going to slam shut the window. So I'm looking, go back to last year. They both had several single-digit performances. With the arrival of Saquon Barkley, they already did that before Barkley, and now it just got magnified. A.J. Brown's still top 15. Top 20 at worst wide receiver. Devonta Smith gets a little bit of hit if Dallas Goedert is out there, going from high-end wide receiver 3 to probably low-end wide receiver 3. Kyren Williams, concern of a lot of people for that game. I'm not. I still have him as a fringe RB1, but now he's fringe instead of solidly locked inside the top 10, just because if they are going to sprinkle in Corum every single week and it's at the goal line, that's the biggest concern, because the touchdown upside was a lot of the value for Kyren Williams. For the Buccaneers, Emeka Egbuka is questionable. If he is out, Sterling Shepard is the next one up, but I am really not chasing anybody on that team outside of maybe if you're desperate for a tight end. Cade Otton would get a boost with no Egbuka, but I'm not really chasing Shepard or the wide receivers. Just hopefully this is the Mike Evans game we've been waiting for this year. Mariota's at quarterback for the Commanders. Mariota is inside, just right there by my top 15 quarterbacks. He has the upside to finish top 10. He has the risk to finish outside the top 20. I dinged Deebo Samuel just a smidge and actually moved McLaurin up 1 spot. They barely moved either one of them. But Mariota will take shots downfield. It actually kind of gets a little aggressive. It's Russell Wilson, essentially. So just a minor movement there. For the Texans, Woody Marks was in the waiver talks, was in the recap, and I would say, yes, Chubb looked pretty good on that run, but if Marks starts to eat in even more, if you have sitting out there on waivers, don't wait, because if Marks even gets a 50-50 split, he's going to be one of the top ads this week. For the Jaguars, you know how much I went off about the fact of the disrespect for Brian Thomas, and in that same game, Bashal Tutin, kind of in that Mark situation, he is the bigger thing here is he's not coming for ETN. ETN would need 2 or 3 games to fall on his face before Tutin took over, and even if Tutin did, he is not in the bell cow range, just as to be a case where you could possibly sell high right now because of the hype, the preseason hype that was already behind Tutin. The Chargers wide receivers got a lot of questions on them, like why isn't Keenan Allen higher? Why isn't Quentin Johnston higher? Why aren't all of them higher? Ladd McConkey, I actually think, is a buy low. It really comes down to 3 wide receivers. It's tough to have consistent value when you have 3 involved. And if you're looking at this situation, Keenan Allen and Quentin Johnston have had some touchdown reliance. That's actually where Ladd McConkey is a buy low, that he hasn't had a touchdown yet. So it really comes down to the fact that you really think that Keenan Allen and Quentin Johnston are going to keep the touchdown run going. I'm hesitant. And of course, these rankings are going to look terrible if either or both scores a touchdown again. But that's really why. It's just the touchdown regression and volatility in the NFL. For the Seahawks, hey, this is what I was talking about. This is why I said Kenneth Walker was going to be a bell cow. I knew week 3 was coming. I'm obviously joking, but Kenneth Walker, likely no Charbonnet. He's doubtful. Kenneth Walker is going to jump. You will see it in the ranks, up by Kamara, ahead of Javonte Williams, Swift, Connor, both Giants running backs, both Chiefs running backs. Kenneth Walker is going to be in the fringe RB1 conversation. I'll probably have a tough time between Chase Brown, Jordan Mason, and Kenneth Walker of who gets ranked the highest. For the 49ers, I wouldn't wait on Purdy. We might have news on Purdy by the time you're listening to this, but I wouldn't wait on him for the quarterback situation anyway. The bigger thing here is that if it's Mac Jones, not only did the wide receivers not move much, but it's actually Juwan Jennings in his own right. The practice report, he already missed Wednesday and Thursday and was not out there on Friday. If he wasn't out there on Friday, there's no way you can wait till the 4 o'clock games to start Juwan Jennings. Find other options. Pearsall would obviously get a boost, and this is another team that I wouldn't chase too much outside of them. Christian McCaffrey should have a huge day even if Trent Williams isn't out there. I know Trent Williams is a big ding to the production for the entire team, but it's really Pearsall. Actually, if you want to go Jake Tongs, take the flyer at tight end again. Hopefully he gets a touchdown or some work in this one. And then Sunday Night Football, Worthy right now is questionable. Heck, he might be a decoy with the separated shoulder coming back from that already. So he's going to move way down the ranks because he was there on the fact that maybe if he practiced in full and he's just making a quick recovery, would not risk Worthy. You're just waiting for this game and getting Marquise Brown or Tyquan Thornton or maybe if Darius Slayton's out. There's no point. Don't worry about risking it. So good luck in week 3. I'll be updating the ranks and the projections over at the site as always. And we'll talk on Monday for the recap, waivers, and I'll try to tie in more waivers this time, as people have asked.